Welcome to the Ultra Race Recap Show for October 2014. I'm your host, Sarah Pilla. Reno, Nevada hosts the newest bike race that's been around over 30 years. Parlez-vous français? Speaking French is not a requirement to run the Bromont Ultra. Racing the Planet continues this time in South America. And an Oscar-winning movie is the inspiration for a Texas cycling race. All on this month's Ultra Race Recap. Welcome, Ultra Racing fans. On this show, we bring you a look at Ultra Racing from around the world, from those who break records to those who break walls. And October was full of action, so let's get into it. Let's start right here at home, smack dab in the middle of America. Cassidy, Kansas is the home of the Heartland 100. This cross-country run takes you through some of the last remaining tallgrass prairie in the U.S. In addition to the prairie, the course also travels through the remote land of Chase County, where the cattle outnumber the humans by a margin of 85-4. That's 85 cows per 4 humans. In the 14 years of this race, 2014 was the first year a female was the overall winner. April Calloway finished first with a time of 17:38.37.
She battled away with the first place male all day. They just kind of, every time I saw them on the course, they were going back and forth. Every time we got our radio operators telling us where they were basically back and forth at every aid station within a few minutes, leaving the aid station at the last one. And she ended up just hammering away at the end and putting in a little under 18 hours. I think it was 17:38 is what it was. So really impressive time out there.
One runner completed his 12th Heartland 100, and 3 runners completed their 10th. That brings the total number of runners who've completed 10 Heartland 100s in the race's history to 5. Moving north and east to our neighbors in Canada, this next running race takes place 90 minutes above Burlington, Vermont, to the French-speaking province of Quebec. The Bromont Ultra is a new race and the first ever of its kind in Quebec. This race takes place under the beautiful fall foliage of eastern Canada, where the vibrant colors surround you as you breathe in the crisp air. What makes this race special, though, aside from the scenery, is its goal of fundraising. And this year, the Bromont Ultra raised almost $100,000. They already have a goal next year, and that's to raise $250,000. The Bromont Ultra, though, is tough, and in its first year had a success ratio of 33%, so 10 finishers out of 32 starters. The first ever winner of this race was John Roach, who won his first 100-miler in just over 22 hours, more than 2 hours ahead of second place. Racing the Planet continues its 4 desert series this month with the Atacama Crossing. Known as the driest desert in the world, the Atacama is a 600-mile strip of land in northern Chile with the Pacific Ocean on one side and the Andes Mountains on the other. Racers run unsupported over 250 kilometers in 6 stages. The entire route has over 3,500 meters of climb and descent and reaches a max elevation of over 3,000 meters or 10,000 feet. Runners can experience temperatures of 104 degrees Fahrenheit during the day. Spanish Olympic marathon runner Jose Manuel or Quema Martinez took the overall with a time of 25 hours and 57 minutes. Quema is well on his way to completing the 4 Deserts Grand Slam by completing all 4 Deserts races in 1 year. The fastest overall time in the women's field belongs to British runner Emily Woodland, who's based out of Hong Kong. This is Emily's 3rd time running in a 4 Deserts race, and she came in 5th overall in the 150-plus person field with a time of 34 hours and 18 minutes. Racing the Planet will be wrapping up its 4 Desert Series this year with its race in Antarctica. Runners will travel by boat from the tip of South America to the Antarctic Peninsula, where they will compete in the traditional 250 kilometers in 6 stages. In cycling, we start off the month with a race that's both old and new. The Silver State 508 is the 4th iteration of a premier ultra cycling race traditionally known as the 508. This year, the race took on a new route through northern Nevada. The race started on October 5th with a competitive field of cyclists, including past champion Sean Cudahy, Slovenian Marco Ballo, and Adam Bickett of San Diego. In the female division, both Shauna Hogan and Sarah Cooper were also here to compete. Starting in Reno at the route headed east on Highway 50, also known as the loneliest highway in America. Along this 250-plus mile stretch, riders only passed 4 towns on their way to the turnaround point in Eureka. At that point, riders headed back to Reno to complete a total distance of 510 miles with over 20,000 feet of gain and loss. This year, temperatures got down into the 50s along parts of the route where the altitude peaked out at over 7,500 feet. In the end, it was Slovenian Marko Ballo who was first over the finish line and established a course record of 26 hours, 24 minutes. The first female over the line was Sarah Cooper with a time of 32 hours, 32 minutes. Alpine, Texas played host to America's newest 1,000 miles race. Tooke's No Country for Old Men is named after the iconic Coen Brothers movie that was filmed in this region of Texas. The race has traditionally had 2 distances, the 208-mile route known as Ed Tom Bell and the 383-mile route known as the Anton Chigurh. This year, Dex added the 1,000-mile route named after the Coen brothers. This route had an impressive inaugural field, like Chris Hoppo Hopkinson of Great Britain, Texas time trial champion Scott Lukert, and Valerio Zamboni of Monaco. Chris Hoppo Hopkinson took it away with a time of 71 hours and 58 minutes. Hoppo has had a busy year. The 47-year-old recently rode in the Race Across Ireland and had an impressive showing this year on the Race Across America. Speaking of a busy year, this November, Chris will be participating in the 24-hour World Time Trials in Borrego Springs, California. He'll be joined by a competitive field, including Dave Hossey, who has a couple big wins this year, and Valerio Zamboni of Monaco. Ultra Racing Network will be on location bringing you coverage of this exciting event. Check in with us for the first Ultra Race report the evening of Friday, November 14th. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Check out our Facebook page under Ultra Racing Network and follow us on Twitter at Ultra Race Report. Also, check out the Ultra Race Report on YouTube. We know that there are several races around the world that we didn't mention in our show today, so we need your help. If you have an elite ultra race that you would like to tell us about, please send your media alerts to stories@ultraracingnetwork.com. We'll try our best to get current ultra racing information to all our viewers. Thanks for watching the Ultra Racing Recap. I'm Sarah Pilla. Remember to like us on Facebook and keep a lookout for our next episode. We'll see you next month.